All right, next up, if you have, let me ask you this. If a woman has mental stress, let's talk about number 7. Can she miss her cycle? And the answer is yes, because if we go back over here, what are the big hormones in play? FSH and LH. And where are they produced? From the anterior pituitary gland, right? If we go back to this very first diagram we saw, and I'm sure you've seen it a million times by now, right? The pituitary gland is in the brain, and it's actually close to the emotion area of the brain called the amygdala, right? So if there is some type of emotional stress in a woman, she can miss her period. Let's go on to the next clinical correlate. A pap smear. Pap smears typically screen for cervical cancer. That is the test. It's actually named after a scientist called, I can't pronounce his last name. It's like Papanu, right? It is actually a test for cervical cancer. The next clinical correlate is a hysterectomy. Hyster means uterus, and tomy means to cut out. Why would someone cut out their uterus? To make it simple, to the simple answer, is uterine cancer, right? If you don't want the cancer to spread, they typically have to, unfortunately, cut out the uterus. Parturition, which is childbirth. One thing I do want you to know about childbirth is during development in the woman's body, right, the infant is actually horizontal. Roughly about 8 months, right? 8 months out of that 9-month period, like a month before childbirth, right? The woman's, I'm sorry, let me take that back. The fetus's head points to the vaginal canal. So during childbirth, you do need to know the head comes out first. And finally, I have a question for you. If you had to make a test kit, let's say a couple comes in and says, hey, we're having sex, right? Let's say you do want to make a baby, right? And, a couple can't have sex every day of the week for 28 days straight. And there is a test kit out there that tests for the best time to have sex if you want to become pregnant. Which hormone would you be testing for? And the answer is over here somewhere. I will not tell you the answer. It is one of these hormones that are unique in the pathway. Which hormone will you test for? And it may be a question you'll see.